Hi, JJ Simita here, ABC Inspections with your ABC What I Found tip of the day, or in this case, tips. Congratulations, your house just went under contract after being listed for a while, and you agreed to terms with the buyer. Next step in the process should be having a home inspector come through and check it. Is your house ready for a home inspector to show up and do his job? You probably thought, oh, my house is ready, I don't need to do anything. Or you just thought, oh man, I didn't get that painting done. Well, you can skip the painting because now is not the time. But there's other things that you can do to minimize our findings and make the transaction, make this process go smoothly. There's some things here I'll point out in the video to help you with that. Let's talk about prepping your HVAC system for an inspection, your heating and AC. Your condenser outside, is it clean? The fin's clean, there's a vegetation back. Can an inspector get around here easily to check everything out? If not, clean the fins off. Take a garden hose and just good pressure, rinse from top to bottom, rinse the debris out and just clean it out. And that's one less thing we have to note on the report as far as it being dirty. Make sure the wire connections for the thermostat wire are not damaged. As you can see here, it's been repaired. Dog got a hold of it, so it's been repaired. Biggest thing is make sure there's a clear path that they can get to it. If there's a gate around it or it's locked for some reason, please unlock it and let us get to it. And if there are animals outside, dogs outside, and we have to check this, please secure the animals. No inspector wants to get bit. Is there a clear path to the furnace? Can you get to the furnace that may be in a closet or in an attic? If not, clear the path, move this stuff out of the way so we can get in here and check out the furnace. Okay? We have to get in here and check things, and we also have to check the air filter. Okay? So in this case, filter's okay. If there are multiple filters, for example, the filters are not just at the unit in the closet or in the attic, they may be in a wall grill somewhere or in a ceiling somewhere spread out throughout the house, please replace those as well. We're going to be checking the differentials from register to return, making sure that it's proper and good. And make sure the balancing also is adequate. So if you got registers that are closed somewhere, please open them back up. Definitely help us out there. If this is going to be the first time that the furnace is going to be turned on this season, have it serviced, because most likely what's going to happen is when we start it, it's going to give off a burning smell. So have it tested by an HVAC technician, verify that the igniter works, it comes on, it fires off without any issues, and if it's a gas furnace, that the flame is good as well. When you're checking the filters, also make sure registers like that above me are clean, all of them. Remove all the dust from them, because we've got a dirty filter and we've got dirty registers, most likely the evaporator coil is dirty. So we're going to recommend servicing. So get that all checked out beforehand, because that would really be helpful. And that way, when we fire it out the first time, it doesn't set off that smoke detector. Speaking of the smoke detector, are all the batteries in them? Do they all work? Or did you have one go off at 2 o'clock in the morning and you pulled it out just to shut it up so you can go back to sleep, and you forgot to put one back in? And then you send your husband at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to the 7-Eleven and get a 9-volt battery to put back in it. Or you send him and he forgot to put it in. Nonetheless, make sure they all work. So, and the carbon monoxide detector too, if applicable. So get those done. Attic accesses, whether you have one or multiple. Can the home inspector easily get to them? Whether they're located in the garage, which is in this case, or closets, please clear a path, remove the storage from the closet, for example, and so we can get a ladder in there if it does not have a drop-down ladder. If you have items that you're worried about getting dirty or whatever, take a sheet and cover everything in the vicinity, cover the clothes, because most likely whenever we remove that hatch, there's going to be loose cellulose insulation come down. If that's what's up there, it's going to float down. That stuff gets everywhere, and you really don't want that on your clothes because it's going to make it itchy. So help us out, cover that stuff up, cover it up, whether it's a shower curtain or a thin bed sheet. Just kind of lay it over that area and cover it up so we don't get your clothes dirty. And in the garage, make sure that there's a clear path to this attic access. If we have to put a ladder in, or if it's got a drop-down ladder, that the drop-down ladder comes down without hitting anything and it opens smoothly. If you have a vehicle in here that's stored in here, please pull it out. Pull it completely out, put it in the driveway somewhere, because afterwards we're going to have to test the door, the garage door as well, the function of it. So this will really help us out and minimize the chance of damaging any property. Electric panel. Can you get to the electric panel without damaging anything? Can it be easily accessible, easily accessed? As you can see in this case here, there's a table in front. There's some storage here. We need to be able to get to those screws on that cover, get to the door, open it up, verify breaker sizes, verify all the breakers are labeled. If they're not labeled correctly, please label them. And if we can get to, make sure we can get to all the screws to take this cover off, because we have to verify wiring and make sure everything is okay inside. So help us out there. If that panel happens to be in a clothes closet, please remove clothing and stuff away from there, enough space for us to get in there, and again, remove the cover and check everything out in there as well. That would tremendously help us out. Ground fault circuit interrupters, also known as GFCIs. Are they accessible? Can we test them and they be reset easily? The exterior outlets are tied into a GFCI, which is typically, their GFCI is located to reset those are in the garage if they don't have them outside at each outlet. Please make sure that we can get to that GFCI to reset it should we trip it while testing. In this case here, as you can see, it's back here behind a refrigerator and a deep freezer. It's very important that we reset that, because we personally don't want to have to rebuy your groceries and buy all that frozen meat, especially if you shot a 10-point buck and you've got the meat stored in here. Yeah, you're not going to be happy with us. So please help us out. Allow us to get back to these outlets and reset them so we can restore power correctly. Water heaters. Are they accessible? Are they in a closet somewhere, in a bathroom or garage closet or somewhere, or you've got a bunch of stuff stored around it? Please remove that. Get it out of the way. We have to check connections on the water heater, make sure that they're not leaking, make sure the drains are run properly. Just make sure they're accessible, that we can get to it. And move anything out of the way so we can climb up there and check it out. Okay. If your water heater is wrapped in an insulation blanket, please remove it or loosen it so we can verify all the connections and check it out as well. That could delay the process, because if the buyer is concerned about the condition of the water heater and we can't check it, and then we note it on the report that we can't check it, we may have to come back and look at it later, which requires an additional cost and which could prolong the process and cause an unneeded headache. So help us out there and get that water heater ready for us to check out. Toilets. Do they flush correctly? Do they have any leaks at all? Do we have to hold down the handle to make it flush? If so, make the corrections. Adjust the flapper and get that taken care of. It's really inexpensive to take care of. Is it loose at the base? Can you go up to it and just lightly nudge it with your knee and it starts moving all over the place? Tighten it down. It's a very common find that I come across in toilets, especially with houses settling. They tend to do that. So secure the toilets, make sure they flush correctly. And if you have drippy faucets, see if you can address those as well. Appliances. If you live in Texas, Texas Real Estate Commission requires that inspectors test the built-in appliances. In some cases, refrigerators are required to be tested, but if it's not built in, it's not staying, we don't check it out. Same with the microwave. If the microwave is built in, we'll test it. Okay. As far as the microwave and the oven per se, please, the opening inside and inside the oven, don't use this as storage. You heard that we're coming, and you need to clean up, and you want to get it looking nice. Don't overload these with flammable items, because we have to turn these things on. Okay, and that just delays the process of us digging all that stuff out and moving it out of the way. And sometimes home inspectors may not check inside and turn on the oven so they can verify the temperature. And then if you've got you're hiding your Doritos, or you're hiding a baked good or something like that, or putting something plastic in there, boom, up in flames it goes. So please, please don't use these as storage. Keep these clear. Let us test these appliances and minimize any heartache that could happen. Okay? We also have to test the dishwasher. All right? So do not feel the need to run it or start it before we get there, because we're going to stop it and restart it. We have to monitor that it goes through all cycles correctly. So, but if you have a dirty load, I'll help you out. Load it up, put soap in the soap dispenser, just leave it there, and I'll start it for you. Kill two birds with one stone. I get to check it out, and you have clean dishes at the end of the cycle. And we save a little water. Okay? Garbage disposals also have to be checked out and tested. Okay? You see one back there. Make sure we can get to it and see it easily. Okay, we have to check connections, make sure it's not leaking, verify wiring, what have you. Okay? If it's seized up, and you know about it being seized up, and you're not sure what to do, verify, one, if it'll reset underneath. There's a reset button typically on the bottom of the garbage disposals. Reset that. If it's locked up, when you purchased it, it came with a little wrench like that. See if it'll free up underneath. In the center of the garbage disposal, this wrench will fit in there, and see if you can break it free. And if it doesn't, then we'll note it on the report. It's not an expensive fine, but it's something we do have to test. So, but if you free it up before I get there, then that's one less thing we got to worry about. Your roof. Is it clear of limbs? Are there any tree limbs that are growing on top of it, rubbing up against it? If so, trim them back. Trim them back a minimum 2 feet off the roof. Get them off there so they're not damaging the shingles. If they've already damaged the shingles, of course, we'll note it on the report. But we're also going to tell you that you need to get those limbs off there. So get that trimmed up. Get that done. And if you've got gutters, as you can see above me, make sure they're clean of leaves and debris as well, so that way they function properly. Because if not, we'll note those on the report. Well, that's all the tips I got for today. Hopefully this will help you out and speed up the process for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to go to my website or my Facebook page and check out some videos, some helpful tips. And if ABC Inspections can help you in any way, please call our office at 903-712-0053. Thank you. Have a blessed holiday and a Happy New Year.